Hi class, this is Miss Flanagan. I hope you're all having a great day. Today we're going to talk about literary devices. Tomorrow in class, we are going to analyze a text using these devices to figure out what the author might have meant and the purpose for using these devices. But today I want you to be familiar with a couple of them so that tomorrow when we get in class we can be ready to go. So the first one I want to go over is alliteration. Alliteration is where words are used in quick succession and begin with letters belonging to the same sound group. An example from SpongeBob is, I smell the smelly smell of something that smells smelly. Clearly, a lot of these words start with S and have that S sound. This is an example of alliteration. Alliteration is that same sound in the beginning that's of a lot of words or a few words that are in quick succession, as it says. You can find examples of these anywhere. Many titles of maybe books or TV shows use alliteration. But that is the first literary device I want you to be aware of. The second one is conflict. Now, I'm sure you can guess what conflict means. But the definition is a literary device used for expressing a resistance the protagonist of the story finds in achieving his aims or dreams. So this is when you have a story and the main character comes across a conflict and works throughout the whole story to get over it. They have to figure a way around it or solve some sort of issue so that they can solve the conflict. This is in many, many stories. Almost every 30-minute TV segment deals with some sort of conflict that is resolved by the end of it. But this is the second one I want you to be aware of. The third one is flashback. Flashback is a literary device wherein the author depicts the occurrence of specific events to the reader which have taken place before the present time the narration is following, or events that have happened before the events that are currently unfolding in the story. And here's a cute picture of SpongeBob having a flashback to when he was a baby. Flashbacks are often used to give the reader or viewer more information, to understand why a character might be in the situation they are in right now. Flashbacks can be used multiple times in the same story or TV show, but this is another one that I want you to be aware of tomorrow. Another literary device is imagery. And in literature, one of the strongest devices is imagery, wherein the author uses words and phrases to create mental images for the reader. So, and here's a photo of SpongeBob imagining a rainbow in his famous imagination scenes. And so this is when the author will describe a setting or specific things in the story with lots of examples or lots of description so that the reader can really picture what is going on or what the characters are dealing with. Imagery is often used as in the phrase like this story had strong imagery, meaning that it was really easy to imagine what it looked like or how the story actually would have unfolded in the real world. The next one is onomatopoeia. Although this word seems long and confusing, it's really something that happens quite often. The term onomatopoeia refers to words whose very sound is very close to the sound they are meant to depict. So, and here's a picture of Mr. Krabs saying cha-ching to the money because the actual word cha-ching is the onomatopoeia for the sound of a cash drawer opening. So this onomatopoeia is used a lot in graphic novels or comics because the you can't understand what's going on without the bang, slam, or those kinds of words. They're supposed to mimic the sound that is actually happening. So these words are not the words we use every day, but they're sound words. Onomatopoeia is a great literary device to use and often helps with imagery. The last one I want you to be aware of is setting. Now, I know this might seem obvious, but in literature, the word setting is used to identify and establish the time, place, and mood of the events of the story. It basically helps in establishing where and when and under what circumstances the story is taking place. So in the show SpongeBob SquarePants, the setting of the show always is in Bikini Bottom. Bikini Bottom is the city where the Krusty Krab is and the pineapple house is for SpongeBob, and everything that's going on in this story is all taking place in the setting of Bikini Bottom. The setting also refers to the time period and the mood that is associated with this place. So the time period in this story, because it is made up, we don't exactly know which time period, but it seems to stay pretty relevant to our time. So we could say that it's probably in a time period that's very modern. And the mood of the Bikini Bottom is often very whimsical, fun, happy, at least in SpongeBob's perspective. So all of these ideas come together and create the setting of the story. All right, thanks for listening, and I'd like each person to find an example of one of these literary devices from your favorite TV show or other media and post it to the class blog so I know you've watched this video. Thanks, I'll see you tomorrow.